I am not a financial advisor, and nothing here should be taken as financial advice. This is for general information and entertainment. Make sure you do your own research and talk to a professional before you make any financial decisions. So, you've got about £100 and you're wondering, can I really start investing with this? The short answer is absolutely. And the best part is, starting small can actually be one of the best ways to learn. If you start investing today with only around £100, it's not likely to turn into £1,000 by next week. However, if you give it some time, you will be surprised with what it can become. When I started investing, I had absolutely no clue what the hell I was doing. My first investment was in an ETF because I didn't want to risk picking individual stocks. There wasn't huge wins overnight, but over time I saw steady growth, which helped build my confidence. And trust me, I made many mistakes along the way. I remember buying a stock just because I saw someone online say it was going to go to the moon. Well, if you couldn't tell, it definitely didn't. But every mistake taught me something valuable, and that's why starting small can be such a great approach. You can get to learn without putting too much risk into it. So, for the first step, I would suggest you understand your goals. So, think about this. What are you investing for? Do you want to think long-term wealth over time, a house deposit, maybe even retirement? Your goals will shape where you put your money. If you're not sure, that's totally fine. But setting up an investment goal helps you stay motivated and make better financial decisions. If you invest blindly without purpose, it's easy to get discouraged when the market dips. Having a goal in mind will help you keep focused on the bigger picture. When I started, I didn't have a clear goal in mind. I just knew that I wanted my money to grow. But once I set a target, like saving for a deposit on a house, it became a lot clearer and easier for me to stay consistent and focused. Every time I invested, I reminded myself why I was doing it and what I was doing it for. This made it a lot easier to ignore short-term market noise and just stick with my game plan. If you're saving for something 20 plus years away, you can afford to take more risks and ride out market fluctuations. If you need the money in 5 years, you might want to be more balanced and conservative with your approach. Step number 2, choosing where to invest. So let's actually talk about where you can put that £100. You have things like index funds and ETFs. These are great if you want to invest in stocks, but don't want to pick individual companies. They track the overall market, meaning less risk and more stability. Fun fact, if you invested in the S&P 500 10 years ago, you'd have almost tripled your money by now. Individual stocks. These have higher risks, but also a higher reward. So if you believe in a company's future, you can buy a share or even a fractional share with just the £100. I once bought a small share in a company that I really believed in. It didn't skyrocket, but I did learn a lot about how the markets work. Robo-advisors. If you want a hands-off approach, apps like Wealthify or Moneybox can invest your money for you based on your risk level. I've tried one of these for a while, and it's a great way to stay invested without having to actually check the markets consistently. Bonds. A safer option where you lend money to governments or companies in exchange for regular interest payments. And then there's alternative investments, things like crypto, real estate investment trusts, or even peer-to-peer lending. These are a lot riskier, however, can offer big returns. However, please do your own research as your money can be at risk, especially if you're going in blind. I personally started with ETFs. This was because they felt like the safest way for me to dip my toes into investing without stressing over picking individual stocks. And looking back, I think that decision helped me stay in the game and keep learning. Step number 3, minimize your risk and build smarter habits. Now, let's talk about risk. The biggest mistake beginners make, well, that's going all in without understanding what they're actually doing. It's risky to put all your money into just one investment. Instead, spread it across a few different assets like index funds, stocks, or bonds. This way, if one investment doesn't perform well, the others might still be stable. Think of it as spreading your eggs across different baskets to avoid losing everything at once. Think long term. Markets go up and down. Patience is key. Markets fluctuate day to day, but investing is about the long haul. By holding onto your investments for years, you can ride out the ups and downs and take advantage of compounding returns. History shows that markets tend to recover over time, so patience is key to growing your wealth. Keep learning. Follow financial news, watch videos, and read books. The more you learn, the better you'll understand how investing works. Start by reading articles or watching videos that explain basic concepts. This will help you make informed decisions and avoid risky moves. Consistent learning builds your confidence and helps you grow as an investor. So, invest money you don't need in the short term. The stock market can be unpredictable and you don't want to be forced to sell in a downturn if you need that money soon. Treat investing as a long-term commitment so you're not stressed about short-term fluctuations. I've made some classical beginner mistakes like chasing hype stocks because they were all over the news. At one point I invested in a company just because it was trending. And well, let's say I've learned a valuable lesson about doing my own research first. Over time, I realized slow and steady really does win the race. Another habit I wish I had developed earlier is consistently investing even in small amounts. So instead of trying to time the market, I started putting a little money each month, whether the market was up or down, and that consistency made a massive difference in the long run. One simple trick: automate your investments. Many platforms nowadays allow you to set up automatic deposits so you don't even have to think about it. It takes the emotion straight out of investing and helps you stay on track. Also, don't let fear stop you. The stock market has always had ups and downs, but historically it has always trended upwards in the long run. The biggest risk is never starting at all. Step 4, get started today. You don't need to know everything to start, you just need to start. Pick a platform, deposit your £100 and just take the first step. Even if you make mistakes, you'll be learning along the way. One thing I tell people who are nervous about investing is to think of it as an experiment. Your first £100 is not going to make huge gains. It's about getting comfortable with investing, understanding how the market works, and building confidence. And who knows, 1 year from now, you might actually be looking back and thanking yourself for the action you took today. I know I did. I was nervous at first, but looking back, I wish I had started even earlier. If I could give you just one piece of advice, it's start now, learn as you go, and stay patient. Investing isn't about being perfect, it's about getting started and improving over time. Whether you make mistakes or pick up the right investment from the start, the key is to keep learning and keep going. If you found this video helpful, please remember to hit that like button and subscribe for more tips. And if you've already started investment, let me know what your first investment was. Let's chat in the comments below. See you in the next one.